We can all remember buying our first home and the excitement of being told by the auctioneer that our offer had been accepted. But how do you make sure that everything goes to plan? Well, I'm hoping Lorna McCardle, property specialist with Dillon Solicitors in Rathfarnham, will give us some pointers to make sure the process goes smoothly. You're very welcome, Lorna.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I have seen my dream home and I've put down an offer on it. Fingers crossed. What happens next?
So once your offer is accepted, the estate agent will notify you and he will ask for what's known as a booking deposit. Now he will advise how much that will be. Then you need to engage a solicitor and you need to provide the estate agent with the solicitor's details, and you also, if you're getting a mortgage, need to provide the bank with the solicitor's details. Now we would recommend at that point that you also engage an architect or surveyor to survey the property to make sure that everything is in order with the property.
Okay, what about the loan offer? Would you give advice on something like that?
Yeah, so once your loan offer issues, it comes to us, you'll also get a copy. So once we get it, we'll go through it, all the special conditions and what's required by you. We'll go through it with you, and once you're happy, then we'll get you to sign it. Now we do correspond with the bank, and provide them with whatever documents they need to be furnished with, and then obviously the cheque requisition on closing, we'll get the money from them.
Okay, well what happens when you get the contracts? Because that's a big point in it, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So the contracts come with copies of the title documents. So title documents are what show who owns the property. So we'll go through everything. We'll also go through the planning documents to make sure there's no planning issues, go through all the special conditions of the contract, and we'll raise queries with the vendor solicitor if there's anything that we think needs to be raised or any documents that we still need. And once we're happy that we have everything, we'll get you in, we'll go through them with you, and once you're happy, we'll get you to sign. Now you will need to pay a 10% contract deposit at that stage, and we return the contracts to the vendor solicitor.
Do I get the keys then when I sign the contracts?
No, unfortunately you don't get the keys at that point. In the contracts there will be a closing date, and it's on that date that you get the keys.
Okay, and then what happens on the day of closing then?
So the day of closing, it's all very exciting, but we would recommend that on the morning of closing you make an appointment with the estate agent to do one final inspection of the property and look for things like the shed and the attic to make sure they've all been cleared out, and let us know if there's any items that have been left. We'll have transferred the money to the vendor solicitor in advance, so they hold it until we tell them they can release it to their client. We will get the closing documents from the vendor solicitor and we'll go through everything, and once everyone's happy that everything's in order, then we close and you get the keys.
Can anything though delay the closing?
Sometimes, money drawing down from the banks can delay closing, so we would say that you ensure that everything is dealt with, early on, so that kind of thing doesn't affect the closing date.
Okay, and then do I get something to show that I own the house that I bought?
You do. So on the day of closing we'll get you in and you'll sign, depending on what the title of the property is. It may be a deed of transfer, conveyance, it could be a lease, but we'll get you to sign it and we'll give you a copy of that. But at that point we also need to pay stamp duty and we need to register the property, and once the property is registered you'll get what's known as a folio, which shows that you're entitled to the property.
And do I bring that home with me then?
Yeah, so you can. We give you a copy to take home and it'll show you as the registered owner.
Okay, and then what about the deeds? Do I hold on to them or does the bank?
It depends. If you have a mortgage, we must return the deeds to the bank and they hold them until the mortgage is discharged, or if you want to sell on the property, they'll release them to your solicitor. Otherwise, we can hold them or you can take them home, but if you are taking them home with you, you need to be sure that you mind them and keep them in a safe place.
Okay, and remember where you put them.
Exactly.
Okay, sage advice, Lorna. Many thanks for that.
You're very welcome.